That down, let's move on to this, shall we? There have been a couple of moments in my career that have excited me the most. Announcing that Star Wars was coming back after we thought it was gone forever. Announcing that they had finally greenlit Deadpool 3 and we're going to get Deadpool and Wolverine together. This will be number 3 if it actually happens. Christopher McQuarrie, or McHugh, the director of the new Mission Impossible, longtime collaborator of Tom Cruise, is saying that he and Tom Cruise are still very seriously talking about getting their Les Grossman movie made. This will be a day that will be long remembered. It has seen, the end of Kenobi. It will see the birth of Les Grossman. According to Variety, their headline literally reads, Mission Impossible director Christopher McQuarrie says Tom Cruise is still, quote unquote, very serious about making a Les Grossman movie. It ultimately comes down to what that character is. This is one of the greatest characters in film history, Les Grossman. I've been dying for this movie forever. Anyway, Tom Cruise's Tropic Thunder fan favorite, Les Grossman, may be getting his own movie. In his recent appearance on Josh Horowitz's Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning director Christopher McQuarrie said he and Cruise have had some very real discussions about making a standalone Les Grossman film. The conversations we've had about Les Grossman are so fucking funny, McQuarrie said. Cruise and I are talking about it. We're very serious conversations about it. And how do we do it? It ultimately comes down to what the character is. Okay. Now, this is not a confirmation that we're getting a Les Grossman movie. Tropic Thunder 2, whatever you want to call it. But I was starting to fear the last year or so that the idea of a Les Grossman movie may be dead, that we may not have it. And by the way, one of my all-time favorite post-credit scenes in any movie ever, it's not necessarily a Marvel film or a DC film or anything. It is the ludicrous dancing Tom Cruise, step back, you don't know me like that. Tom Cruise dance number at the end of Tropic Thunder is in the conversation of the top 3 greatest post-credit scenes of all time, in my opinion. I love this character, and I love Tom Cruise playing him. I'll be honest with you. Listen, people forget history a little bit. Like when we talk about Robert Downey Jr., people forget that Robert Downey Jr.'s career was almost dead when he did Iron Man, right? People forget Tom Cruise's career was in a bad spot for Tom Cruise when he did this movie. And it kind of turned a lot of people around on him by doing this character. It was a brilliant move on him and whoever his agents are and all that kind of stuff. The only question that exists about a Les Grossman movie to me is whether Les Grossman, who was very much a secondary supporting character in Tropic Thunder, can you do a whole movie around him? That's the thing, right? Like, I went to several Public Enemy concerts. I don't know that I could have gone to a 3-hour Flavor Flav concert. Even though I love Flavor Flav in Public Enemy, not sure I could do a 3-hour Flavor Flav concert.
You know what time it is.
I would definitely know what time it is if I did. A lot of people right now, the younger viewers are like, who's Public Enemy and what's a Flavor Flav? Anyway, Google it. So anyway, and so could you do a full 2 hours? You know what? I think you can. I really do, especially if you have a good cast of characters around him to kind of be that, to be the sugar to his salt.
Do you bring in any do you bring in what's his name's?
I definitely bring in Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, for sure. But like Ben Stiller's character as an actor or anything like that?
Maybe.
Speedman.
I mean, I'm sure you could get them as cameos.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I'm even sure, like Robert Downey Jr. still so fondly talks about his experiences making Tropic Thunder. I'm sure you could get him. I'm sure you could get Jack Black. I'm sure you could get Ben Stiller. I mean, technically speaking, I think the character belongs to Ben Stiller. I think. Anyway.
Could be.
All I know is it will be one of the happiest days of my career. The day, if and when, we get to come on this show and announce the green lighting and the beginning of production of a Les Grossman movie. Anyway, Rob, you're hearing McHugh and Tom Cruise saying, oh, listen, we are still seriously talking about it. The article went on to talk about how during the production of Mission Impossible, that's what they would do every night. They would sit around and just talk about ideas for Les Grossman. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Ridge. Hey guys, listen, I love this thing. This is my Ridge wallet, and honestly, I think it's the last wallet I'll probably ever need. I used to carry around this huge, bulky leather beast stuffed with receipts, old cards, and frankly, way too much junk. It messed up my back when I would sit down on it with my back pocket, and since switching to Ridge, game changer. This thing is sleek, compact, holds up to 12 cards plus cash, and it still fits perfectly in my front pocket. I've got the carbon fiber one. It's ridiculously durable and looks amazing. You can choose from over 50 different colors and styles too. And in today's world, this part is key. It's got RFID blocking tech built in so you can keep your info safe from digital thieves. Peace of mind and style? Absolutely. Another added bonus is if you're like me and constantly misplacing your stuff, they even have an AirTag attachment so you can always know where your wallet is. And to make this even better, Ridge gives you free shipping, a 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty on all of their products, wallets, key cases, even suitcases. Right now, Ridge is having their huge Memorial Day sale. Get up to 40% off at ridge.com/Campea. That's ridge.com/Campea. And after you buy, tell them our show sent you because it helps a lot. Is the idea of a Les Grossman movie, and this is a serious question, has its time come and gone? Is it maybe too late at this point? And do you maybe feel like I do about because he's such a strong character that maybe you can't do a whole movie on him? How do you see it?
Well, first of all, I would say that the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast with Chris McCory is one of the most essential viewing podcasts for anyone interested in the entertainment business, because Chris McCory was dropping wise pearls pretty much every second of that podcast. And he addresses the very thing you just talked about. He says that Les Grossman is a supporting character. And he says the reason that he worked so well is because he was a supporting character.
Yeah.
And while he also said that when they would have lunch together, when they were shooting Mission, that Tom Cruise would just do Les Grossman at lunch and was killing the guy. But Chris McCory is by the way, his insight into what went on, he talks about editing Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, and how it didn't work. And part of what we saw was the result of trying different things. So like all the Mission movies, it is kind of a cobbled together, very interesting. It's a great conversation. But I think that, first of all, Les Grossman could always work because the character is great, and Tom Cruise gave it his all.
Yeah.
But like you pointed out, the movie, it's got to be like The Devil Wears Prada, where Les Grossman's Meryl Streep, you know, and it's Anne Hathaway who's the main character, and you get in you've got to have somebody who has Hollywood dreams and gets a job working for Les Grossman, the greatest producer in Hollywood history, and that's how you get in. You know, because you have to have the every person character. But that doesn't mean you can't make it a Les Grossman biopic. You know, you could make like World According to Garp, where the movie begins with just a baby bouncing into the frame in slow motion. I can't just believe I made a World According to Garp reference. People are like, what? But anyway, it's a great movie.
By the way, I love that character you were suggesting. You know, I could see playing that character already in my head. Jack Quaid. I could see Jack Quaid playing off that. I think he'd be a really good for something
and
like
you
that.
could bring all of those people. I mean, imagine what Robert Downey Jr.'s character, now that he played a black man in was it called Tropic Thunder?
It was called Tropic Thunder, yeah.
But the movie in the movie.
Yep.
So he could be playing a different ethnicity, and that could be hilarious too.
Oh my God.
He had plastic surgery to alter his face.
If he
somehow.
could be, if Robert Downey Jr. came in as, what's this character's name again? I can't remember the name.
Oh,
he wins the Oscar at the end. But if he could come in and playing a Filipino shop owner.
But I mean, I think that's the way you do it, you know, and bring all those people. And look, the studio works. You know, it would just be, I think, a more harder hitting version of the studio. I could see that movie. I mean, Les Grossman, it could be great. The rise and fall and rise of Les Grossman.
The rise and fall and rise of Les Grossman. I like that. Chris, you hear about this? Mm-hmm. Good idea, bad idea. And here's the question we haven't even asked. Do you actually think this will happen?
Oh, well, first of all, that actor that Robert Downey Jr. plays is Kirk Lazarus.
Lazarus, right.
Thank you, Mr. I, in the chat for putting that in there. So it could happen. Sure, anything's possible. I'm going to be the wet blanket here who's like, but why? I literally constantly forget about who this character is until you guys bring him up. And I'm like, oh, that guy. That guy.
playa.
I don't, it's, and then I see him, I'm like, oh yeah, he was funny in that. But I do have the whole, he's a supporting character. I don't really want a whole movie of him. I don't find, I think you would have to set it up as he is still playing second fiddle to somebody else, or at least is this looming presence like Meryl Streep in Devil Wears Prada. I would love for him to yell at somebody, oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea, everybody wants this. I think that'd be wonderful. But I just don't see a full feature-length film that rises and falls on this man.
But Tom Cruise as
Rise.
he's gonna halo drop from like 40,000 feet in one of the scenes.
Then never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Pops out in
Even
the
less
parachute, and then they get that contract signed. It's gonna be awesome.
Beautiful.
If you really wanted to do something, it would be Les Grossman
really
as the
wanna
head of the
party with me.
studio, and Tom Cruise plays himself, and they go to war against one another on the rising.
Oh, that would be
budget of Tom
cool.
Cruise's
That's fun.
latest action
I like
adventure.
that.
That could be kind of fun
If
too.
y'all love this character, that's great. Good for you. Not everything is made for me. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna ask
So
my
you're not
opinion-
saying we can't have it?
No, if
You're
you
just
guys
saying
want it,
you
it's
don't
just not
want it.
for me.
I don't
I would
know if
just
I can
go-
wrap my brain around that.
I know,
If you
isn't
say
that crazy?
you don't want it, it means you think I can't have it.
I know.
You could have Eddie Murphy come in to be the lead singer of
Very-
Sexual Chocolate.
I also think they should make it where Grossman is trying to get his sequel to Simple Jack made. Many years,
I don't think so.
Oh,
trying to
no.
get Simple
Oh.
Jack 2 made.
You never
That's
go
the
full
premise of the
Simple
movie.
Jack.
Absolutely
never go
not. Is
full
that going to
Simple.
happen?
Never go full Simple Jack.
All right, guys, the question is for you. What do you think
That's
about
Jack
this?
Daniels.
Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise say they still seriously talk about doing a Les Grossman movie. There are two different questions here. Would you like to see that? I know I would, but do you think it could actually happen? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.